Kandy, welcome back to my channel. I know this is a little different. We're in my bed again. I have a bunch of laundry to put away. I have like a bunch of stuff to hang up. So I thought we would have a conversation. I worked a long shift yesterday. During the summer, we're not as busy on the weekends because our store is like in downtown and everybody kind of goes out of town for the weekend. So they've already got all their stuff for their vehicles done during the week, and we don't have a ton of business on the weekends. Like, we do fine. It's steady pace all day, but like, it's not busy like it is during the week sometimes. And so we've gone down to one bookkeeper, which is what we call our counter people. We've gone down to one of those on a Saturday. And a Saturday shift is from 7:30 until 5 p.m. So it's, you know, a 9.5 hour shift. It's not undoable. It's, the three of us had a talk. We decided we wanted more weekends off during the summer so we could actually do stuff. Anyway, so yesterday I worked that shift, and I always dread going into that shift because it's like, it's daunting being the only bookkeeper, and you're in charge of the front. You're in charge of greeting customers, checking them in, billing them out, answering the phones, blah, 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 blah. Like, there's a lot of duties that you do by yourself. Luckily, my manager was there this weekend, and him and I work great together. Me and my assistant manager work great together too, but my manager and I worked really closely yesterday. So anyway, I always dread going into these shifts because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be so tired, and I'm gonna be so sore the next day. And I got home last night, and yeah, I was tired, but like, I got up this morning and my ankles didn't hurt. I actually woke up at like 3 a.m. It's currently like 6:30. I've been up for a while. But I got up this morning and my ankles didn't hurt. My back didn't hurt. And I was like, holy cow. Like, it got me reflecting on kind of like the last, you know, a year or so, a little over a year, and all of the amazing changes that have happened in my life. And I guess I kind of just wanted to like talk through them with you guys because we haven't sat down and talked for a while. We used to do car talks all the time where I could like catch up with you guys and like talk about like a certain subject. My Jeep is not conducive for filming. It does not have a place for the camera. I have tried multiple different things. Oh, that's the sheet. I've tried multiple different ways to like set up the camera and still be able to like see me and not get too much vibration from my, what's that called? I'm totally blanking. Not your windshield. My dashboard. What the hell? So I usually get too much road noise and shaking when I do try, so it's just not working. So anyway, I was reflecting on like how much my life has changed and my physical being, and just how much stronger I've become, both physically and emotionally and mentally. And go ahead and comment about how fat I look today. Don't care. I'm in my pajamas. I don't have a bra on. When you're sitting in this position, you're gonna look a little bit fatter than when you're standing up, okay? Done. But since I started my job in April of last year, I've dropped 80 pounds. I'm not afraid to tell you that I am down to 400 and feeling pretty great. Like I said, physically and mentally, I feel the strongest I've probably ever been. And it feels really good. Like, I can't complain. And like, a couple people have like messaged me and they're like, will you talk about how you lost, you know, weight or whatever? Because like, I've brought it up a couple times And like I said before, this is not a weight loss channel, but there's really not a trick to it for me. I just, I'm physically moving more and eating less. That's just what it comes down to. Changing jobs after being somewhere for 17 years was super hard. It was scary, and I felt like I needed to do it. Things happened in my life. Like, I was in a pretty toxic back and forth relationship for like, oh gosh, 2 years or so. And I finally was like, we cannot do this anymore. And they agreed with me. And we can be friends, but in a relationship, we're terrible for each other. We're good friends, but terrible in a relationship together. And once I finally let go of that and let go of some of my past stuff, life felt better. And I was able to like move on and like open my heart to other things. And not only did that include changing jobs, but it also included meeting Cody and being able to open up to a new type of love, because he's much different than any of my other past relationships. There have been a lot of comments on videos that him and I do together where people say I'm bossy or like, don't let him do things. That's just how our relationship works. He is more easygoing and I don't want to say submissive, but like, I have a domineering personality. I get it from my mom. When I was growing up, the women in my family were the matriarchs. Like they ruled the family. And so I've always been taught that, you know, women are the head. And I'm fiercely independent and like want to do things for myself. So I've never needed a man. I say needed because sometimes you do. And sometimes you just need someone to like hold your hand and tell you everything's going to be okay. And Brittany can't always be here. So, but mostly I just do things on my own. And like, I think you guys have seen me become more independent over the last like 5 years or so. And you know, I think I've just opened up a lot, and I think it's beautiful, and I love it. Speaking of 5 years ago, so it's been 5 years and 5 months since I left my marriage, since I left Roger, and last week or the week before, I think it was last week, I finally filed our divorce papers. I know it seems stupid, and it seems like, God, why did you guys wait for so long? For a while, it didn't make financial sense. For a while, it was, he needed me to make sure that he could pay all his bills and make sure he was stable. And now he's super stable. The house is in just his name. I've gotten my name taken off the mortgage, and now we can file. So in about 3 months, in October, we can finalize it, because in Washington you have to wait 90 days since you file. And then, yeah, I'll be non-married. The new girl at work the other day, we all joke, like, I love my work family. Love them so much. We support each other. We give each other shit. It's the perfect mix of support and roasting. I don't know if any of you have friendships like that, but those are my favorite kinds of friendships. So the new girl is getting along with us so well, and the other day she was like, I was giving her shit about not having a boyfriend or something, or asking her if she like actually wanted a boyfriend, and she goes, well, at least I'm not dating someone and married. And I was like, oh, you got me. And then my manager, who is in a similar situation, his divorce is like just taking forever because they've got a lot to like go over. I was like, oh, you got me. And then I looked at my manager, like, she got you too. And we all just laughed, and it cracks me up. But soon she won't be able to make that joke about me. There's a couple people that ask about Roger, like, seems like constantly, but Roger's doing fine. He's doing really well. He's getting a kitten in the next week or two, because the cat that is still living with him that we had together, she is, what did we decide the other day? She's 16 or 17 years old, and, you know, cats live to be about 20. So he was like, I think I'm gonna get a kitten. That way Midget can teach her, you know, how to be a cat before Midget passes away. And I was like, I think that's a really good idea, bud. Like, I think that'll be great. So he's excited for that, and we'll see how Midget does. Midget has one of those funny, ironic names, because when we got her, we had two, like, almost adult cats. I think they were, like, 1 or 2 years old. And when we got her, she was just so tiny and such this little ball of fluff. And we just called her Midget because she was, like, the smallest one. And then once she grew, she's part Maine Coon. Huge cat. She's, like, long and chunky and super furry. So now it's one of those funny, ironic names, like a big guy named Tiny. You know what I mean? These are not my shorts. These are Cody's he left here. But, so I'm excited for that for him. And, you know, I want him to be happy in life and be good. That's all I want for him. Being divorced for Roger and I doesn't really change anything. It's literally just paperwork. We're still going to be friends. He's met Cody. They like each other. Like, I know it seems weird to be, like, best friends with your ex, your ex-husband, your ex-boyfriend, whatever. But for us, it makes sense. We didn't work as a couple, but we're really good friends. Oh, God, I talked about my ex-boyfriend like that. Maybe I'm not meant to be in a relationship. Maybe I'm just meant to have friends. Who knows? But I'm happy now. Like, Cody is great. He teaches me to not be so tough on myself, and he encourages me all the time. And I'm just so happy, and I'm so proud of him for what he's accomplished in becoming a pest management technician. You know, he did security for like 10 years, and he just one day decided, he's like, listen, I'm going to be moving. Maybe it's time to change careers. And I'm very happy that his boss took a liking to him and gave him a chance, and now he is a certified pest man, and I couldn't be prouder of him. So things are going really well, and like, look at my Hot Mess Express tank top. It is just, I need to order me some new merch, but Teespring hasn't had the tank tops in stock in the 5Xs in like forever, and it's kind of annoying. Been thinking about some new merch ideas. We'll see if I go around to anything. I just get so like busy with work, and then I'm tired when I get home, and YouTube stuff has been falling to the wayside, so I apologize that I'm not more consistent, but if you've been around for any length of time, you know that's never been a thing. So, anyway. So yeah, I guess I just wanted to get on here and like have a little chat while I got chores to do today. Like this week, God, what did I do last week? Oh, last week was 4th of July. No. It's Sunday. Last week was the week after 4th of July. The week of 4th of July, I worked 4 days because we had Monday off and I had Saturday off. And then I had to take Monday the 11th off to take my mom to the doctor. My mom is like extremely claustrophobic, and she had to have an MRI. And they tried to put her in the regular MRI machine, and she flipped out. So the last time she had an MRI, she went to the open MRI, and the only one in Southwest Washington is like in my town. So I went with her and I held her hand while she had her MRI. She needed to have another one, so I went with her on Monday. Apparently she has a bulge disc and a bone fragment just kind of floating around in there, causing her a lot of pain, causing her leg to go numb when she's sitting. She can't sit or lay down for like extended periods of time. It's a lot for her. So she had to have an MRI. So Monday I went with her, so I worked Tuesday through Saturday this week. I put in like 50 something hours, but I got a lot done this week. Our owner, he doesn't live in the country. He lives somewhere else, and he's coming for a visit to handle some business. And so this week was like hyper mode of like making sure everything was in its place, clean, in order for when he got there. He'll be there Monday morning. So we're just kind of, it was like just hyper vigilance this week to like make sure the store was in tip-top shape for him. We also had someone try to break in, broke the lock on one of our front doors. We had to have that replaced this week. One of our guys had his vehicle stolen while we were at work. And he lives in his vehicle, and he was so concerned because they stole his vehicle and his cat was in it. He was like, I don't want the vehicle back, I want my cat. And I was like, dude, I know. Luckily, 2 days later, he found his vehicle. The cat was in there. They had actually fed and watered the cat, so the cat was in good health. So they stole all of his tools that he had in there, but he got his vehicle and his cat back, and he was very happy, and I'm happy for him because he was a wreck, and I felt so bad for him. That happened on Thursday because Friday he called out of work so he could go look for the van, and then I had 2 other guys call out. So instead of having 6 people in the tire bays, I only had 3. And one of them is like a brand new employee. He only started on Monday, and it was just like there was a lot going on. So we were a little bit slower on Friday, but we still busted out a ton of work. And as far as my job goes, I've become a lot more comfortable like selling tires, selling, you know, other services that we offer. Excuse me. I just feel like I fit really well there, and my job is the best mix of like accounting and office work that I love to do, and working with our customers and the public and like greeting people and billing people out. Like, I love working the front counter, but I know that part of my job is in the back office. So I've got a really good routine now, because when I have my review, they wanted me to spend more time in the office. So I totally get it. And so I found a really good mix where I work like 2 to 2.5 hours up front at the counter. And then during the middle of the day, I'll go and work 3-4 hours in the office, get all of that stuff, you know, caught up as much as I can. And then when the one bookkeeper leaves and the other one's there by herself, I work with her for like an hour or 2. Then I go home and she works for an hour, hour and a half by herself. So it's a really good like flow and mix that I've got going now that I'm like super excited about. It feels a lot better than it did. I was very stressed out before because I wasn't able to get everything done because I felt like I had to be up front. But during winter, it's going to change a little bit because that's our busy season. I'm sure you guys remember that from last year, that November to about, well, it depends on snow. Like last year, we were busy from November until April. And then April, like, kind of, like, dove off a little bit, but then May was back up again. It just, you know, it's a mix. So, I don't know if I've told you guys about these. I have these braces, or they're almost like compression socks. They're very, like, elasticy, but they don't cover my toes. I'm sure I've talked about this before, but I had club feet when I was born, and so I have misshaped bones in my ankles, and they hurt all the time. Like, if I walk for too long, they hurt. But these help a lot. They keep the swelling down in my feet and they support my ankles. So I've been getting these on Amazon. They're like $7. I'll try to remember to link them, but I might not remember. So I have them in like a bunch of different colors. I've got black, pink, orange, purple, blue, green, and I just wear them every day. I put a sock over the top of them and they're super comfortable. More Cody stuff. So yeah, I think that's about it. I don't know if there's anything else that we need to catch up on. My mom is officially retired. That was pretty exciting. That's what we did on 4th of July weekend. Instead of celebrating this freedom of this country, that as a woman I don't have as much freedom as men do. Whatever. We celebrated my mom. She retired and it was her 62nd birthday. So she's just got a couple months. She worked for a doctor's office, so she's just got a couple months of like making sure all of their patient files are transferred correctly and stored correctly, and then she is free to do what she wants. She worked 30 years for the post office. She started there when she was 18, and she's worked for this doctor for like 10 years, and before that she worked for a physical therapist office for a few years. So I'm really proud of her. She's doing amazing. The boys are off school for the summer. Logan's going to be in middle school next year. It's just, everything's going great. I'm just so excited to see where life takes me and the people I love. So anyway, thanks for chatting with me while I went through and folded laundry and hung up my clothes, and now I have to put this all away, which is like the worst part. Okay? So I'm going to do that, but thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I love you guys so much, and thank you for always being here to support me. Mwah. Bye.